Do you ever feel lonely even when your spouse is sitting right next to you? Physically, you're together, but emotionally, this person is miles away. It's not just marital drift, but it might be something we call intimacy avoidance. And if you don't name it, you can't heal it.
I talk about in my book, The Unbound Man, the 3 A's of awareness, acceptance, and action. And this key first step is awareness.
Today, we're tackling a silent killer in many marriages called intimacy avoidance. This isn't just about a partner who isn't touchy-feely. This is about a specific pattern of behavior where a person actively, although often unconsciously, walls off their inner world so they don't get hurt.
It's important to know that intimacy avoidant behavior, for the most part, is not intentional. But we don't want to minimize the fact that it is very, very destructive to the partner.
By the end of this video, you're going to understand why this happens, how to spot the subtle signs, and the specific steps you can take to tackle the problem. So what is intimacy avoidance? Well, first, let's define it. Intimacy avoidance is the intense fear of sharing a close emotional or physical bond with another person. It's really important to distinguish this from healthy boundaries.
A healthy emotional boundary would be, I need space so I can take a break, but then I can come back and love you better. IA's intimacy avoidance is, I need a break so I can protect myself.
A good way to tell if a person's doing this is if they do come back to the conversation. Someone with healthy boundaries comes back to the conversation, and an intimacy avoidant uses boundaries to keep distancing themselves from you.
And they come back to the relationship because they want to engage, not so they can check a box so they can bolt.
The most obvious place this shows up is during sex, but there are a lot of more subtle signs you might want to look for. More subtle signs can include avoiding eye contact during serious talks, or changing the subject when hard emotions come up. It's really the roommate dynamic.
All of these include, for an intimacy avoidant, connection, which is uncomfortable. When the intimacy avoidant is trying to avoid, they're feeling that lack of comfort and they're trying to disconnect.
When it comes to the roommate dynamic, this could be described as things running perfectly as business partners running a household, but you're strangers when it comes to sharing a heart.
So why does the person you love shut you out? It's probably not because they don't love you. It's because of their history.
They learned over and over again that their needs were just not going to get met, and so they stopped asking. Avoidant partners often have betrayal trauma from past relationships as well.
The problem is when you have wants and needs and you're intimacy avoidant, you're either going to go get them met somewhere else in an inappropriate way, or you're going to resent your partner, which creates more distance.
The avoidant partner might also have a type of attachment disruption known as an avoidant attachment style. Their internal script reads, if I let you in, then I'll lose my independence. Or if I show you who I really am, then you'll leave me. So then they strike first by withdrawing.
We've developed something called the 40 ways to be IA. And one of those is, I did it my way. What does that mean? That means that I'm not going to give you any input. I'm going to go off by myself and do it by myself. And it's really protective in nature.
Next, let's talk about the impact and signs, how this looks in daily life. First, you want to watch for the yo-yo effect. You might have had a great weekend with this person, but come Monday, they're cold and distant. They have a vulnerability hangover that's now making them pull back.
The intimacy avoidant got a little too close over the weekend and now feels like they have to retreat.
They might also use buffers, such as staying late at work, obsessing over hobbies, or scrolling on their phone to avoid connection.
And it's not unusual for an intimacy avoidant to be a workaholic, or at least be doing activities all the time.
The impact on you, the partner, is profound loneliness.
And the problem is that the intimacy avoidant doesn't feel that because they're disconnected. And so they have a hard time having empathy for you and the loneliness that you're feeling.
It erodes trust, and dangerously, it creates a vacuum that makes the relationship vulnerable to infidelity. This is because the natural human need for connection will eventually seek an outlet. So can it be fixed? The answer is yes, but not by force. We can't force other people to connect with us.
So if you ask somebody who is an intimacy avoidant, do you want to be a better spouse? Do you want to be a better parent? They always say yes. So then we lean into that and say, well, if you can't attach, that's not really possible, but we can help you with that.
Typical work for an intimacy avoidant to change their patterns of relating would definitely involve trauma work and attachment work, It also often involves accountability because this person has to lean into doing behaviors that make them feel really uncomfortable.
But we also want to make sure that we address on the front end any sexual behaviors, whether addictive or not, that are creating pain and problems in the relationship. And on the back end, we need to make sure that we check to see what of the 40 ways of being IA that you're doing so that we can work on those so you can attach and be better.
The things Matt mentioned lead me to bring up a warning sign, and that's if the intimacy avoidance behavior involves secrecy, active addiction, or straight up contempt. Those are red flags that often require immediate professional intervention. It's really important as a partner that you remember that you can't simply love someone out of an addiction or out of intimacy avoidance.
What you can do is to educate the intimacy avoidant about what the struggle is and then point them to a way to get better. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button below.
Or head over to becomingwellinstitute.com, where you can learn more about trauma, addiction, intimacy avoidance, or other related topics, take a free assessment, or set up a consult with one of our trained professionals.
Let us help you keep the journey toward becoming well going.